In our last Investing Explained reel, we talked about an enhancement to securities laws that was made to better protect older and vulnerable investors, the trusted contact person provision. This week, we're looking at another provision to securities laws that was also made to protect older and vulnerable investors, the temporary holds provision. And what are temporary holds, and how do they work? Let's find out. The temporary holds provision allows a registrant to place a temporary hold on a single transaction, but only under certain circumstances. These circumstances can include that they believe financial exploitation of their client has occurred, is occurring, or is being attempted, or if their client appears to lack the mental capacity to make financial decisions, and by making these decisions, they could be harmed financially. For example, if an advisor were to believe a client was being exploited by a loved one who was stealing from the retirement fund, they could potentially place a temporary hold on a sale of funds from that account to determine exactly what is happening and if their client is being exploited and abused. A financial advisor may have had a long relationship with an older client and may be able to spot signs of financial exploitation or abuse, or possibly spot reduced capacity in a client. If an advisor notices a decline in capacity, they can place a temporary hold on a transaction that may not be in their client's best interest to avoid any undue harm or hardship. A temporary hold does not apply to the client's entire account, only to the suspect transaction. Transactions that are unrelated to suspected financial exploitation or an apparent lack of mental capacity would not be held. For example, if a temporary hold were placed on a sale of securities, automated bill payments from the same account would not be affected and not be suspended or held. Upon placing a temporary hold, a registrant must document the facts and reasons that caused the firm or individual to place, and if applicable, to continue the temporary hold. They must provide notice of the hold and the reasons for it to the client as soon as possible after placing the hold. They must review the relevant facts as soon as possible after placing the hold, and on a reasonable frequent basis to determine if continuing the hold is appropriate and necessary. And within 30 days of placing the temporary hold, must do either of the following: either revoke the temporary hold or provide the client with notice of the firm's decision to continue the hold and the reasons behind that decision. And that's the basics on temporary holds. To learn more about temporary holds and other investor education information, visit our website,